Hello, all you positive heads out there. It's so good to be back with all you beautiful reflections of the one source consciousness that creates and animates all things. If you're new to this podcast, of course, we are super happy to have you here, and we just ask that you bring an open mind and heart to your listening experience and to be prepared to explore vantage points that I'm convinced will help shift or solidify your current understanding of the ultimate nature of reality in a way that is extremely empowering. Speaking of exploring powerful perspectives, I'm super excited to announce the release of my very first book, The Golden Key: Modern Alchemy to Unlock Infinite Abundance. If you're ready to alchemize the circumstances in your life so that your abundance expands to an entirely new level in 2021, head over to goldenkey.gift to download the audio or ebook as my gift to you by using the code POSITIVEHEAD.
All right, all you positive heads, welcome. Welcome, one and all. Samantha and I are here with you today, and we are so grateful that you've joined us. Samantha has a really great concept that she's been thinking about today, and I'm excited to talk about it. Hi, Samantha.
Hello, Erica, and hello, all you positive heads. I am so curious if you remember the movie Forrest Gump.
How
If
can
you
you
have
not?
never,
A
well, we're a little older, Erica.
little
We're
bit.
a little older than the 18-year-olds that have
Yeah.
not much older, just a few years. And maybe they haven't seen Forrest Gump, but if you have not, you need to schedule out some time and go see that. One of my favorite one of my favorite scenes that I never understood until recently, really, was where Forrest is sitting on a bench with Bubba, and he has this. There's this quote in the movie, and it goes, life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get, and that that quote has been coming to me so often as I've been reminiscing over this past year, thinking back that exactly 1 year ago, I was living at the Mystic Manor with Brandon and Everett and the whole crew. And I could have never guessed what would have happened to me over this last year. There's no way that my mind could have conceived everything that was about to happen. And yet, when I was back in California, I was hyper anxious about the future and what I was going to do with my life and the next thing and the clarity and the next move and controlling and dominating and planning it all out and getting all of the pieces right and figuring it all out. And I've done that most of my life. And I believe that most of us have done that our entire lives. And then when you look back, you realize it never really works out the way you think it's going to be. And you never really know what you're going to get. And maybe there's a relief in that.
Oh, yeah. I think there's a huge relief in that because when you realize that, then you can relax in the moment because you know that you don't have any control over it. We never have any control. I mean, we do, but we don't in the grand scheme. And I do find a lot of comfort in that because in that, I know I'm always held, right? The universe is always guiding us and holding us in this space and putting those things in front of us that are necessary for us, for our growth and for our learning, right? And so when we can just relax into that, knowing that, like, oh, yeah, this is all working out for me, I don't need to control it. And actually, if I try to control it, I'm just getting in the way of the flow of the universe, right? So
Mm,
just, we can just
yeah,
stop it. Just stop it and just relax, right?
that's it. Yeah, absolutely. And so, for everyone listening, can you think back to a time when you were wanted things to work out so badly in a certain way and you were pushing and you were controlling and you were struggling over it? I know I struggled over specifically a certain relationship going a certain way and moving back to a certain place and working it all out and all of this stuff, things that I've tried to stick pieces of the puzzle together a million times over in a million different ways, and it just wasn't working out. And I think back in that moment, I was thinking, well, why isn't it working? What am I not doing right? What can I change? Like, really, really beating myself up and beating up the universe. And once I finally let go, everything started to flow. And I ended up getting married a few months later to somebody else. And it's just so funny to think back, like, oh, if I would have just relaxed and trusted a little bit more, I would have saved myself so much suffering.
Oh, yeah. so much suffering, so much angst, so much guilt, so much everything we could just save ourselves from. It is nice though, because we do learn from it so that next time we don't do that, or maybe we can help somebody else who's going through that. But I was laughing as you were saying that because that's exactly what came up for me was a relationship that I had to have it. I was going to control every aspect of it. It had to be this and that and the other. And did that relationship work out? Of course not. Like, because it wasn't supposed to be. Because if you have to force something, it's not right. It's
Yeah.
just not right. And that should be a really easy red flag to recognize. Like, if it's just not flowing really simply and easily, maybe I should take a step back for a second and really examine what's going on here because maybe it's not right.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a fine balance, right? Because what I see on one end is like myself having to run into the wall over and over and over and over again until I literally like concuss myself with the wall until I get it. And then on the other side is this spiritual bypassing. Well, oh no, I have to put effort in and so it's not right for me. Nope. It is just supposed to manifest with my eyes closed and do
Mhm,
nothing and it's just supposed to work.
mhm,
And so people, especially in the conscious community, spiritual community, that are just not doing anything and nothing is happening, and they're just thinking, oh well, as soon as there's a little bit of resistance, oh no, must not be meant for me. And that is a huge illusion as well. There's this
mhm.
really beautiful balance that gets to
Yeah,
be when it comes to manifestation, what it's meant for you, and then also you do get to show up and play and put in a little effort.
yeah, yeah. The effort is necessary, right? It's just what I love about it's the not having to try to be able to actually do, right? And so,
Mm,
like, you don't have to try to do the things that you love. You just wind up doing those things because that's just what's within you. But and within that, you're doing that doing, right? But you
yes.
can't just sit on your ass all day and expect things to come to you because you're a love and light being, right? Yeah, you're right. It does not work that way. Yeah. You have to actually do the doing, but the doing doesn't take trying, and it doesn't
Mm,
take too much effort, right?
yeah. Yeah.
Mhm,
And if you feel internal the struggle and the suffering and this intense constriction, you can often notice it if your guts are super tight or your chest
mhm,
feels like it's collapsing or you have constant chronic headaches or constipation, like your body's not in flow. It's just showing you, okay, my internal world is reflecting my outside world and there's something here for me.
yeah.
Right? It's you're not meant to suffer. The universe doesn't want you to struggle through life.
No, no, we only struggle because we're getting in our own way, and that's a way that we can have that awareness within ourselves, like, "Oh, something's not right here because I am struggling, or I'm in pain, or my body feels like this." Those are all signs that we're not listening. And we're not
Yeah.
doing what we're supposed to be doing. Yeah. So the body
Yeah.
is such a really great cue. If it doesn't feel right, if you get that sick feeling in your stomach or whatever that is for you, then it's not right. Listen to that. That's really important that we listen to
Yeah.
ourselves and our guidance. Yeah.
That's it. And I feel like there's so much pressure to have it all figured out, right? I talk to a lot of people in their early 20s and they're freaking out about not having all the answers, not having
Mhm.
the whole clarity of what you're going to do until you're on your deathbed. And I understand I've been there too many times. And I'm so grateful that I didn't have it all figured out and that I didn't know everything and I didn't just stick to the course because that would have been so boring. And I
I was
wouldn't
just
have had
gonna
the
say, yeah.
crazy stories. I have
Uh-huh.
the craziest stories that blow my mind because they come as surprises to me.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, if you were to be in control of it, you would have never imagined those different amazing experiences for yourself, right?
Yeah.
Maybe wouldn't have put them into the plan, but it never works that way.
Before we continue on with today's episode, I'd like to take a moment to tell you a little bit about my very first book, The Golden Key: Modern Alchemy to Unlock Infinite Abundance. The concept for the book initially came to me in a dream and has been followed by a next level amount of synchronicity, confirming for me that the information in the book is pertinent to get to the world at this moment in our collective evolution. In the book, I share the 8 keys to manifesting abundance that I've personally discovered over 25 years of trial, error, and deep exploration, including one golden key that ultimately ties them all together. I think most of you will agree with me that talk is a bit cheap, especially these days, and results speak the loudest of all. Well, these keys have led me to manifesting incredible results, such as an Inc. fastest growing private company, uncanny health, incredible relationships, and success with this podcast. However, I'm not any more special than you, and anyone can apply this information to achieve incredible results in their own life. I also believe waking up our planet by sharing these keys to abundance is the quickest way to help us to transition our home into the planet of paradise it is destined to become. Which is why I'd like to gift the book to you at goldenkey.gift when you use the golden key code POSITIVEHEAD. I would also like to invite you to create your own unique golden key code so you in turn can gift the book to others, as well as invite you to participate in a unique abundance manifestation game with me and the other readers that is outlined in detail at the end of the book and on the website, where readers are also going to share the inspiring results of their abundance manifestation experiments. Lastly, I'm going to practice what I preach by sharing 50% of the abundance generated from the golden game and sale of the other golden goodies on the website with you and all the other readers. So, if you're ready to alchemize the circumstances in your life so that your abundance expands to an entirely new level, head over to goldenkey.gift to download the audio or ebook as my gift to you by using the code POSITIVEHEAD. Also, if you end up loving and appreciating your gifted copy of the book, please take a moment to go to Amazon and give it a review, which will greatly help me reach and unlock more hearts with the golden key.
And sometimes, it's funny, I think about this and in my life, when I was younger, I wanted to get older, get married, have babies, do the whole thing like normal people do, right? Like quote unquote normal
Mm.
people, right? Do the whole thing. And that didn't work out for me. And I'm so thankful because I wouldn't have the daughter that I have. I wouldn't have now the partner that I have and the son that I have. And and I if I tried to plan that, I know, and if I would have forced that because I could have, I had a relationship that I could have been like, "Yeah, let's do this, fine." I would have been miserable, and I would have been stuck, and, it's like, my life worked out so much better and was full of so many more surprises because it flowed the way it did, and I had no control, even though I really wanted it to be a certain way.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And, again, with the pressure, I feel like society does paint this very cookie cutter, right? You
Yeah.
you go to school, you go to secondary school, you go to university, you get this job, you marry this person, you have the baby
Mhm.
by this time, you have the 401k by this. It's like all of these milestones that we're just meant to go through. And what's so cool is in this generation, in this time, we're really breaking that and creating this new paradigm of working from your computer, working from home, doing things differently, being polyamorous if you want to be, or, a lot of women are deciding they don't want to have kids.
Mhm.
And myself, I decided I don't want to live in one place. I want to be nomadic. I want to do this different thing. I want, we have so many different options, and there's no blueprint for that. There's no set guide points for that. And so, yes, it can come with a little extra anxiety or a little extra nervousness, but that's where we really are being called to trust the universe,
Mhm.
anchor in that sense of trust, that like the alchemist journey, that when you are following the calling of your soul and you're listening to the language of love and the language of the universe really does conspire to support you.
Totally. Every time.
Yeah.
Absolutely every single time. If you're doing what you came here to do, you're following your purpose, your life's mission, and maybe you don't know what that is, but you're called to help people in a certain way, or there's like a hobby or a something that really ignites fire within you. How can that serve others? That is your purpose, your mission here.
Yeah.
It's fairly easy to find, we complicate it, I feel like, but our mission is really so simple. How am I here in my way to help others? It's always
Mm.
about helping another, but how do you do that in your way? And when you're doing that, we don't need to worry about how am I gonna be financially supported, although, yes, that is a worry because we live in this world. But what happens is when you're doing that, the things just come to support you. The money comes, the opportunities come, the people come because you're doing what you're supposed to. They just fall in your lap,
Mm,
but only because you're following your inner guidance and you're listening and trusting it, no matter how weird or crazy or out of the box it is. The more out of the box it is,
yes.
I think the better.
I agree. That's it. The biggest diminisher for people following their dreams is right away asking the question, the rhetorical, very closed off question of, yeah, well, how am I going to make money doing that?
Yep. Yeah.
Right. And
Yeah.
just look, some of the richest 18-year-olds on the planet get paid to play video games, and people
Yep.
stream it, like they stream it online, and that's it.
Mhm.
One of my girlfriends who's at the Mystic Manor, she it has hundreds of thousands of followers from like just being herself and just showing up bubbly and cutesy with her pink hair online, and she makes an amazing living just by doing her. There are people
Mhm.
that love plants, and then all of a sudden they start a little nursery and make all of their fortune selling plants. Like you can do anything. You can be anything that you want. You can get paid to do anything.
Anything.
It really is amazing. And like Erica said, you can't necessarily navigate it through your mind from the beginning all the way of like how it's going to look and whatnot. You
Mhm.
sometimes just have to show up in it and allow the opportunities to really come.
Yeah, yeah. And you know what I've done in the past too, when I haven't been so sure, but I have been guided, but I'm still scared and nervous about stepping forward and doing that thing. I just put it out there, and what I say is, "Make it happen, number 1." And I've been saying that for years, and this obviously, I mean, if you guys have ever watched Star Trek, it comes from Star Trek, but I didn't know that. I've just been saying it, and recently I found out like, "Oh, wow, that's from Star that's from Star Trek." But but for me, like, just make it happen, number 1, like, and then it's just like the intention. It's like, "All right, I'll do it. You make it happen." Right? I'm
Yeah.
listening, and it always there's always a reason. And you don't know it until you do it. That's the
Yeah.
thing. You'll never know if you don't do it.
That's exactly it. I think back to all of the craziest things that I've been able to manifest. Like for instance, I'm covered in tattoos, and most people don't know that. But one of my tattoos is of a palm tree. It's a beautiful palm tree with a sun setting, and out of the sun there's a phoenix bursting out of it. There's a lotus flower. There's a whole mural on my body, and the palm tree was specifically put there, one because my grandfather's from Barbados, and two because I always said I will live where palm trees grow, and so I stuck it on my body. Other things for me was putting out the ideal man on social media last year, maybe a year and a half ago. I wrote out my divine soulmate partner and I stuck it on social media. I'm like, I'm just putting this here for the universe. All of these different little things, and one after another after another, every single one has all come true, and
Mhm.
it just continues and continues, and that's it. Asking the universe, hey universe, thanks for making it happen for me,
Right.
being very clear, and then also going out and showing up and doing the things that I love and following the breadcrumbs of my bliss, because the universe speaks to you and guides you through things that feel good. You're not going to be
Yeah,
led to your destiny through
right.
you
Potholes
know
that you fall in.
things, yeah, through things that really hurt you over and over and over again.
Right.
Well, sure, yeah,
Potholes come, but
it'll come, but it doesn't have to be that hard.
right. Yeah, yeah, exactly. You know, what I was just thinking about, back to the box of chocolates analogy, when you get that box of chocolates and it doesn't have, like, a diagram of, like, what's in the chocolate, that can be for me, I'm like, "Oh, I'm not sure if I wanna try this one. I'm not sure if this is gonna be good. What if it's one of those squishy ones that, like, burst yuck in my mouth, and I don't like that?" Right? Like, but
That's my favorite, the cherry burst one. Give it to me,
no! Okay,
Erica.
see? I love that. There's something for everyone in the box of chocolate. We can all share. I love it. But yeah, like, but you never know what's in it until you just take a bite and you go for it, right? And it's not that scary. You're not gonna die. Like, that cherry bomb isn't gonna kill me. I may not like it for a second, but I'll get over it pretty quick and I'll learn what that one looks like so I don't eat it again, right?
When I was a little girl, I used to think about those cherry blossom things, and And I thought about what I could do to like just maximize the pleasure I get from them because they're actually my favorite. So I would go to buy full boxes of
Oh,
them and then I'd smush them all together in a big jar, like a huge
oh,
jar, all smushed together, and I would eat it with a spoon.
oh, Samantha. Oh,
It just goes
no.
to show some people's destinies, some people's desires and pleasures, they're not for everybody. You are your own unique snowflake, or your own unique box of chocolates, and your flavor
Exactly.
meant for you.
Yeah, and thank goodness we all have our own preferences, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that's what makes this life so beautiful, so magical, so exciting, and so full of color and dimension, right? Like,
Mhm.
ugh, if we were all the same, that would really, really be boring. And
Yeah.
and speaking of what I keep seeing in my mind's eye, that's why we're here. Because up there, back at source where we all truly came from, we are literally all the same, and we don't see any difference between one or the other, like, literally all just these big, bright beings of light, and that's boring. It is. It
And
feels
I believe
boring
that's
there,
why
I've been there.
yeah.
In
That's
my
why the
mind, it's
universe
boring.
created itself,
Yep.
right? The God or the universe spirit wanted to know itself, and it cannot know itself as it is itself because there's no
Yeah.
contrast, there's no comparison. And so it had to split from everything and nothingness into physical form in every single iteration of possibility. That is why there's literally every single type of human, every single color, shade, form, texture, the infinite potential and possibilities so that God could know itself in all of its shapes, forms, and sizes.
Mhm. And even those icky cherry bombs,
That
that
are
I
the
don't
best.
that yeah, see, it's all from the same source, right? And I think that's also a really good point to remember, like, even the things that you may not like or may feel a little icky, we're all from the same source, we all come from this love. We are
Mhm.
all one in unity, in reality.
Mhm.
In
Yeah.
the real reality. Yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So well
One box
said. Is
of chocolates
anyone
we are.
is anyone else hungry for chocolates?
Yeah. Actually, maybe, I was thinking when you were talking about all the different jobs, I was thinking about what a great job it would be to be a chocolate taster, right?
Oh my gosh, yes. Yes. I think I am almost a professional chocolate
I
taster.
could be one too.
Swiss chocolate is known, Belgian chocolate is known, and I was just in Switzerland and Croatia and all over the place. And I have to say, the best chocolates I have had to date so far are in Croatia.
Mm.
Yeah, okay, and because I am not a purist, I don't like the simple things. I like innovation, I like fusion, I like orange neroli blossom caramelized ginger sparkled crispy chocolate things, right? Like I like them when they're innovative and different. And in Croatia, we just got to try the most amazing chocolates. I sampled very, very, very many, and I have to say, I am impressed with
Mm.
the innovation that is chocolate.
Well, did you bring
Yeah.
me back some, Samantha? Because I don't think it's fair that you're talking about how amazing they are, and now I can't have some. I mean,
I brought myself some. I could eat it and play it out to you.
thank you. I'll tap into you and eat it vicariously, that's wonderful.
Okay, so Erica, if you were a chocolate truffle, what flavor would you be?
Caramel.
Really?
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. Nice and yeah, I'm not gonna go into why.
All right, positive heads. Well, Erica's over there being a caramel chocolate. What are you? What kind of chocolate are you and why? I love asking people this question because it gets you to think of like what that means for you. So, while you ponder upon that, do we leave them with a song, Erica? I
We
think it's
are.
that time.
I think it is that time. We're gonna leave you with a song that's special, very special to both Samantha and I along our journey here, and that is Xavier Rudd, "Follow the Sun." We love you all. Until next time.
We love you.
Also, quickly, before we cue up today's song, I wanted to remind you to download the Golden Key, audio or ebook, as my free gift to you at goldenkey.gift using the code POSITIVEHEAD. I also wanted to remind you that I will now be doing a live Q&A every Thursday night at 6 p.m. Pacific time on the new social audio app Clubhouse. I have really been wanting to connect and interact with all of you more for quite some time, and I'm super excited to now have 2 new ways to do it. First, if you're already on Clubhouse, be sure to follow me and click the little bell on my profile and select to always be notified when I go live on the Clubhouse app. And if you'd like to connect on an even more intimate Zoom gathering once a month, now you can do that too by registering at goldenkey.gift.
Follow the sun and which way the wind blows when this day is done. Breathe in the air, set your intentions, dream with care. Tomorrow's a new day for everyone, a brand new moon and brand new sun. So follow the sun, the direction of the birds, the direction of love. Breathe in the air, cherish this moment, cherish this breath. Tomorrow's a new day for everyone, a brand new moon, brand new sun. When you feel life coming down on you like a heavy weight, when you feel this crazy society adding to the strain, take a stroll to the nearest water's edge. Remember your place. Many moons have risen and fallen long before you came. So which way is the wind blowing? And what does your heart say? So follow the sun and which way the wind blows when this day is done.